What happens when a woman gets her periods during the military training? Not period cramps. I'm talking about the real questions. So, this is not related to communication or confidence, what I usually speak on this channel, but it's about a question which was asked to me. So, what happens when you're running a 20 kilometers as a woman? What if you're carrying a rifle on your back during the military training? What if you're wearing a fitted uniform? What if you start leaking while you are doing the tough physical training of the military? What will you do when you get rashes? What if you are doing an obstacle training and your period starts? How you do swimming in your periods during the military training? Can you even complete your military or army training when you are on your periods? Now, somebody asked me this question in one of the comments, and what intrigued me was that she said that she had tried to find the answer of this all over the internet, but she couldn't find it. And this question is not the first time it has been asked to me. It has been asked to me on Instagram. So I thought that I will answer it in detail and record a full video so that it stays on YouTube. So I am Captain Ritu Kumar Singh. I'm a former Indian Army officer. And the day when I joined the Officers Training Academy for my training, every lady cadet had an individual counseling session. So we have companies, we met our company commander. We also met our directing staffs, like the training staff. And one thing which they told us on the very first day was that this training is not like your school or college physical activities. This training will test your body, it will test your mind, and it will push you beyond your comfort zone, which you could have ever imagined. And then they told us something that stayed with me during the whole duration of the training. They said very clearly that your menstrual cycle may get completely disturbed during the training. So we were warned about it. Some women may start bleeding continuously, some may not even get periods for months or till the time your training is completed. Some may have spotting regularly, some may have irregular cycles, and all of that can happen because your body is suddenly under extreme physical and mental stress of the military training. And then they reassured us that if anything feels abnormal or excessive, report it immediately. The military hospital is always there to help you. Now, looking back today, I appreciate that conversation because it mentally prepared all the lady cadets there before our training even began in the Officers Training Academy. So, I'm going to share what actually happened with me. I cannot speak for everyone, but personally, when I started training, my periods became irregular. Like instead of my normal cycle, I bled for almost 10 days. After that, I even had spotting every few days. So naturally, I got worried. So I even went to our directing staff and the military hospital. They referred me to a gynecologist. She examined me and then she told me very calmly, like as if it was a regular affair for her. She said that it is extremely normal when women cadets come here for physical training, obstacle courses, you're undergoing weapon training, you're there in the camps, you have route marches, you have cross country run, and once you get punishment, then you are even punished by the drill ustads, very little sleep, and then constant stress. So, as a woman, your hormones will naturally respond to all of that. So, she told me, the gynecologist, that once your body will adapt, things would most likely to settle down. And thankfully, that's exactly what happened with me. My body adapted during the training period. So now comes the question, how tough is military training? Now, people often ask me, like civilians are not aware about it. They say that, can you really train during periods? Now, let me paint a picture of the training for you. So you wake up before sunrise. There is brutal physical training, punishments. Then you have to immediately run for the drill. There is weapon training. Then you have study classes. You actually study a lot of it. Then obstacles, then cross country run preparations, field exercises. Like it's a full packed day. 20 to 25 kilometers route marches, also carrying the weapon load. There is sleep deprivation, like hardly we slept in training, a lot of mental pressure, then physical exhaustion. And by the end of the day, your body is completely tired, completely. And you know what's strange? Periods become one of the smallest thing on your mind to worry during that training. Not because they disappear, but because your mind is so focused on completing the next task that periods are something which, as a lady cadet, I least bothered about. Like, I didn't care about them because there were so many other things to do during the military training. I know that this may sound difficult for someone who has never gone through such sort of a training, which is so harsh. But when you're pushed to your physical and mental limits every single day, your perspective changes, and periods are something which you will not worry about. So the question is, did we train wearing the sanitary pads? Now, this is the question which has been asked with me before. And yes, absolutely. When I was undergoing my training way back in 2010, menstrual cups were not common. In fact, I never even heard about menstrual cups at that time. Period panties was also not there. There were tampons, and a few of my course mates used them. Personally, I was not comfortable wearing tampons. So, throughout my training, I simply used sanitary pads, the regular Whisper sanitary pads, and I completed my training in them. I ran in those pads. I completed my obstacle course. Even during one of the camps, I remember for weapon training, I was having my periods. In one of the route marches, I was having my periods. So, literally everything, I just wore sanitary pads. So, what happens if you leak? Now, this is the question which most often is asked to me, ki what if you leak while wearing the uniform or while you're doing a physical training? So, this was something even I was worried about when I went for my military training. So what happened with me is that whenever I knew that we had a long route march or cross country run or an extended outdoor activity, I simply used a thicker sanitary pads. Sometimes I layered two pads for extra protection. So I also carried spare pads whenever possible in my pockets, and it gave me peace of mind. So today women have even more options, like there are high absorbency pads now, there are tampons, there are menstrual cups, there is a period underwear which you can wear which will prevent you from leaking that much. So choose whatever makes you feel comfortable. There is no right or wrong choice. But let me tell you, the training is so brutal that periods will be the last thing in your mind. So, what if suddenly you need to change your pad during the training? Now, the answer is simple to this. You will inform your instructor. There will always be an instructor with you. You tell your directing staff, you tell them that, sir, ma'am, I need a washroom break. You have your course mates along with you who are training with you. You can share it with them that I'm leaking, and the course mates are like your buddies. They're going to help you at every point of time. That's it. Nobody will humiliate you. Nobody will make fun of you. Your instructors, your course mates, everyone know that women have periods, and it isn't treated as something unusual. Like you go to the washroom, you change the pad, you take care of yourself, come back. If you're in a camp or if you are in the middle of a jungle where is nobody is, of course your course mates are there. You can take space and change the pad. That's it. Now, what about rashes? Now, we were in Chennai. Chennai has a very humid weather, and of course, rashes were common. And for many women, rashes are more uncomfortable than the period cramps or the period blood itself, especially when you are sweating all day, like humidity of OTA Chennai. And then on the top of it, you're walking, you are running, you're wearing your combat uniforms and those big boots, leather boots. And my advice in this case would be whenever possible, change your pad regularly, apply a moisturizer, maintain the hygiene, keep the area as dry as possible. And if the rash becomes severe, we were asked not to ignore it. We were told that for every problem, visit the military hospital. That's exactly why trained doctors are there, and it's not a big deal. Everything will be dealt in the training. Now, question comes, what about swimming? Pads won't work in water because they absorb water. So during swimming, women generally use either tampons or menstrual cups. So if you're uncomfortable with menstrual cups, then that's perfectly okay. Nobody should force themselves to use something they're not comfortable with. I remember when I was swimming, the swimming period used to happen twice or once a week. So if I was on my periods, I used to tell my DS directing staff, and we used to skip the swimming lessons on that day. Otherwise, some cadets choose to wear tampons and they continued with their swimming lectures. So, not a big deal. Now, what if somebody has PCOS or other gynecological issues? So, we had a wife of a war veteran training with us, and she was already a mother, and she had some gynecological problem. She was facing heavy bleeding and irregular cycles. And even if someone has PCOS, there is no need to panic. The armed forces have experienced doctors. Military hospitals deal with these situations very, very effectively. So while you are training, if there is a medical issue which is genuine, cadets do not silently suffer. They seek medical advice, and that's exactly what those doctors are for. Now, one thing is for sure that my army training changed my relationship with my periods. This is something which even surprised me. So before joining the army, I used to get period cramps almost every single month. Like it was a common affair. And like many girls, those days felt really, really uncomfortable for me. But after 11 months of my military training, something changed. Once my menstrual cycle became regular again, for me, the period cramps completely disappeared. Like today, I genuinely don't worry about my periods. Like I'm a mom of two kids. Whether I'm running, during strength training, traveling, I am walking, like those 3 to 5 days, they don't stop my life anymore. But I want to be very clear, this is my personal experience. Every woman's body is definitely different. And I'm not saying that this will happen to everyone, but regular exercise is known to help reduce menstrual pain for many women because it improves blood circulation, releases endorphins, and which are body's natural pain relievers. So for me, military training completely changed my relationship with my periods and how I view them. And I would say that the biggest change was not for my body, it was actually my mindset. My biggest transformation by doing that training was not physical, it was mental. So before joining the army, somewhere deep inside, like I had accepted what society tells many girls, like you have periods, so don't run, don't exercise, don't lift weights, don't do that, don't do this, take complete rest. But military training challenged all of those beliefs for me. So when you are completing obstacle courses, when you're running cross country, when you're carrying your own rifle behind your back, you're completing a route march or a camp run back, you realize something very, very important in that moment, that your body is capable of much more than your mind was taught to believe. And this is for all girls. Now, that doesn't mean that you ignore your body completely. Like if you have severe pain, there is heavy bleeding, there is a particular medical condition, please seek medical advice. There is absolutely no shame in that. But for most healthy women who do not have any particular underlying medical issues, periods are not a weakness, period. They're simply a part of being a woman. And once you have trained through them, your confidence will change forever. So, if you are someone, you're a girl, or you are a father of a girl, or you're a brother of a girl, someone who's preparing for army, the Air Force and Navy, or any other forces, or even the Indian police services, please don't let periods become the reason you doubt yourself. Thousands of women officers before you have completed this journey. I have completed this journey. Thousands more will complete it after you, and you can too. The biggest lesson the army taught me was not just how to fire a weapon or complete a route march or how to run. It taught me to stop seeing my periods as a limitation. Today, periods are simply another 3 to 5 days in my month. I still run, I still lift heavy weights, I still live my life exactly the same. They no longer control me. And if this video reassures even one young girl who is scared of joining the armed forces or any paramilitary forces because of her periods, then sharing this experience, I'm sure, was worth it. And if you have any questions, no matter how personal or embarrassing they may seem, leave them in the comments below. I have experienced it during my army training, and I'll answer it very, very honestly. Because sometimes the questions nobody talks about are the ones that deserved to be answered the most. This is Captain Ritu Kumar Singh signing off. Jai Hind. Namaste.